Very good afternoon, everyone. Chalo. So now today we'll start financial instrument. Okay. So financial instrument means there are three Indias. Indias 32, 109, 107. Correct. Now 32 deals with presentation of financial instrument. Correct. 109 recognition and measurement of financial asset and financial liabilities. Correct. 107 disclosures. Disclosures of financial instrument. So disclosure not important from exam point of view. So we need to concentrate on 32 and 109. Correct. Now the chapter concentrate on what? The chapter concentrate on asset liability. So if I say this is asset, so this is equity and liability. So now as per this chapter, there are two type of asset. One is non-financial asset, one is financial asset. And liability are of two type. One is non-financial liability, one is financial liability. And then equity instrument. Equity instrument. Correct? So this chapter deals with what? This chapter deals with equity instrument, financial asset, and financial liability. Means this chapter do not deals with non-financial asset and non-financial liability. Correct? In simple word, I say non-financial asset will be property, plant and equipment, investment, intangible asset, investment property, inventory, biological asset, DTA, etc. So can I say for this we have respective Indias. For this we have respective Indias. Correct? Means whatever asset left that become financial asset. Means in one word if I will say financial asset means contractual right to receive what? Contractual right to receive cash. Contractual right to receive cash. But it is more than that. But if I say in one word, financial assets are those assets which have some contractual right to receive cash. What is the keyword? Contract. Contract means financial instrument chapter, the starting point is contract. Means if there is no contract, means there is no financial asset. Correct? Similarly, financial liability means what? Contractual. Contractual obligation. Obligation to pay cash. To pay cash. Are you getting? Contractual obligation to pay cash. So whatever contract under which we have an obligation to pay cash, that will be a financial liability. Means in simple word, debenture will be financial liability. All types of borrowing will be financial liability. Correct? Are you getting? Yes, sir. Debtor will be financial asset. Bills receivable will be financial asset. Bank will be financial asset. Wherever there is a contractual right to receive cash, that will become financial asset. Correct? Yeah. So, sir, what is the meaning of financial instrument? So, financial instrument means it is a contract which give rise for two financial asset of one entity and and financial liability or equity instrument of other entity means any contract any contract which gives rise to financial asset for one entity and financial liability or equity instrument of other entity. This contract will be known as what? Financial instrument contract. This contract will be known as financial instrument contract. Understood? Very simple. Means, of course, can I say any contract will be asset for one party, liability for one party. If it is not liability, it will be equity for other party. Correct? Means, for example, if you have done credit sales, so credit sales, there will be some receivable for one party, so there will be some payable for one party. Correct now. So this receivable is a financial asset and payable is a financial liability. Therefore, it is a financial instrument contract. ठीक है? For example, we have done one loan transaction. So loan में there will be loan receivable in one entity and loan payable in one entity. Therefore, this will be also a financial instrument contract. ठीक है? For example, we have issued, one entity has issued equity shares, issued equity shares. So in one entity, there will be investment in equity shares, and another entity, this will be equity share capital. So this become financial asset of one entity and equity instrument of other entity. Therefore, this is also what financial instrument contract. So you can see the chapter is revolve around is small transaction which we have done in our bachpan CBT IPCC. Correct? The transaction we know, but we need to understand the recognition and measurement principle. Means still no accounting standard was dealing with loan, debtor. This type of this debtor is one of the important item for any entity. Receivable is one of the important item, and there was no accounting standard for that. Therefore, there was a need of such accounting standard to will deal with what recognition and measurement principle for such item here. Are you getting what I'm saying? So, sir, what is the meaning of financial asset? So, when I am coming to financial asset, so they have given some inclusive definition. Inclusive definition. So, what is the meaning? It include cash. It include cash. So, cash is a financial asset. Cash is a financial asset. It also include equity investment, or better I don't, equity instrument of other entity. Equity instrument of other entity. Means can I say equity shares capital of other entity will be my investment. So equity instrument of other entity will be my financial asset. Correct? Then point number C, contractual right to receive cash or any other financial asset of other entity will be also what? A financial asset. So contractual right to receive cash or other financial asset from other entity will be my financial asset. So debtor is a contractual right to receive, bills receivable contractual right to receive, investment in debenture there is a contractual right to receive cash, correct? So these are the examples of what? Financial asset, correct? Then point number D, contractual right to exchange, contractual right to exchange financial asset or financial liability with another entity under condition that are potentially favorable to another entity, that are potentially favorable to other entity, correct? Are you getting what I'm saying? So this point number T is nothing but derivative instrument. I think in SFM you have done derivative, you know future, you know option, you know forward contract. So I'm not supposed to go into detail in because you are expert in that. So future option is a derivative instrument and that will also be a financial asset. I think in future option you know that for one party there is a favorable condition, so for other party there is a unfavorable condition. So favorable condition means contractual right to receive cash. There's a contractual right to receive some cash. So it means it gives rise to financial asset. If it become unfavorable, so unfavorable means obligation to pay cash. So it will become financial liability. So all types of derivative instrument will give rise to derivative asset or derivative liability. So if it gives rise to derivative asset, it is a financial asset. If it is a financial asset, correct? So of course they have used the word that are potentially favorable to entity, potentially favorable to the entity. So this is the meaning of financial asset, correct? Understood? You can see in point number C and point number D, there is a contractual right to receive cash. Contractual right to receive cash, and in point number D, there is a contractual right to exchange financial asset or financial liability. So there is some contract. But in point number B, there is no contractual, means there is nothing contractual right to receive cash. Means if I have investment in equity shares, can I say I do not have any contractual Right to receive cash. I do not have contractual right to receive cash. In liquidation, if there is a surplus available, then I will get some amount. Then also it is what financial asset. Means equity instrument of other entity will be always our financial asset even though there is no contractual right to receive cash. So I will say this is one exception to this rule. It is one exception to this rule. Correct? Understood? Cash is a medium of exchange. So it will be always a financial asset. Correct? What is financial liability? So financial liability, correct. So this C and D reverse will be what? Financial liability. So the liability definition will be what? Contractual obligation to deliver cash or other financial asset of sorry contractual obligation to deliver cash or another financial asset to other entity, correct? To other entity will be a financial liability. The contractual obligation to pay cash or other financial asset, that will be what? Financial liability, correct? For example, trade payable, any borrowing, debenture, etc., 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 correct? And point number B will be what? Contractual obligation to exchange financial asset or financial liability with another entity another entity under conditions that are potentially unfavorable to the entity. So here they have written unfavorable to the entity. Means this is also derivative finance instrument which give rise to some liability, I think definition you are understanding what I am saying, correct? What is equity instrument? So can I say equity instrument means what? It means any contract that entitle the holder of that instrument, that entitle the holder of that instrument the residual interest in the asset of the entity after deducting all liabilities. Means in Bachman mein we have done one what? Equation. Equity is equal to asset minus liability. The meaning is same only ki if I am the holder of any equity shares and if I am entitled to what? Residual interest in the asset after deducting all liability, it means I am holding what? Equity instrument. I am holding equity instrument. So equity instrument in simple word, ordinary shares are equity instrument, but it is more than what? Equity shares. It is more than equity shares. So ordinary shares of company will be equity instrument. Irredeemable preference shares of company will be also equity instrument. Will come in detail, correct? So this only meaning I have given. So you have understood the meaning of financial asset, financial liability, equity instrument, correct? Yes, sir. Now, the the problem is what? In this. Where is the problem? Problem is what? In this. This. There is no problem for financial asset. Means one thing we have understood that any contract which give rise to financial asset of one entity and financial liability or equity instrument of other entity, it will be a financial instrument. But for this entity, whether it is a financial liability or equity instrument, that we need to understand कि whether it is a financial liability or it is the equity instrument, that we need to understand. So when it will become financial liability, when it will become equity instrument, that we need to understand. For there is some rules. What is the rules? Rules for classification of financial liability or equity instrument. In simple word, if I say, if there is any contractual obligation to pay cash, it is a financial liability. If suppose I receive some amount, but there is no contractual obligation to pay that amount, it become equity instrument. In simple word, correct? Correct? But technically what? Technically what? If the issuer of the instrument means the company who has issued that instrument, the company who have issued that instrument can be forced, can be forced, can be forced to redeem the principal amount and to pay interest or dividend, to pay interest or dividend, and I've written and, correct? If the issuer of the instrument can be forced to redeem principal amount and to pay interest or dividend, then it is a financial liability. Then it will be a pure financial liability. Means company cannot deny that I will not pay. For example, redeemable preference shares. Redeemable preference shares. So can I say whenever due date will come, then company need to pay what principal amount? Means company cannot refuse the payment. Company cannot refuse the payment. Therefore, it will be a financial liability. Therefore, it will be a financial liability. But company cannot refuse both principal and interest amount. For example, if I say cumulative redeemable preference share capital. Now, just try to understand. If I say cumulative redeemable preference shares, cumulative redeemable preference shares. Do you know cumulative means preference shares are entitled to cumulative dividend. Now the question is that if preference shareholders will demand dividend, whether company can deny for cumulative preference shareholders, company can deny or company can't deny? Huh? Bolo? Huh? No, can deny. Means I was knowing you will say can't deny because you don't know the actual meaning of cumulative. ठीक है ना? Means there is much to understand. There is many things to understand in this chapter. If I will say from if I want to teach you, so it will take nothing to me. But if I want to actually teach you, so we need to go to one depth of this chapter, correct? So cumulative means what? Just try to, whenever we say cumulative. So cumulative means what, everyone? Cumulative means what? Ki whenever there is a, whenever preference shares, preference dividend are not declared. Are you getting? Then it will be carried forward to next year. And whenever equity dividend is paid, then preference shareholders need to pay all the areas of what? Preference shareholders need to pay all the areas of preference dividend. This is meaning of cumulative dividend, correct? It does not mean company can't deny. Are you getting? Suppose you are the preference shareholders. Company unused profit. You came to me. I can deny preference dividend. I say come tomorrow. Bolo yes or no? I will say I will give next year. Next year once again you came. I say come next year. I can deny or not? Yes, I can deny. Companies Act says that before payment to any equity dividend, you need to pay it. But I can deny or not? Yes, company can deny. It means company has a right to deny preference dividend. Therefore, in this case, if I am saying cumulative redeemable preference shareholders, there are two components. One is principal component is redeemable, but dividend there is no obligation to pay. This type of instrument are known as compound financial instrument. Means it has characteristics of both. Equity and liability. So this component will be equity. This component will be liability. Are you getting what I am saying? But if I say this is fixed dividend redeemable preference shares. Fixed dividend means every year we need to pay dividend whatever may be the position. Then can I say it become a pure liability? It become a pure liability because I have written the word fixed dividend. The contractual agreement was that whatever may be the position, I need to pay an annual dividend of such percentage. Correct? So it become what? Company can't deny principal amount as well as company can't deny what? Dividend or interest amount. For example, if I say 10% debenture, so you all know that company cannot deny principal amount and company cannot also deny interest amount. So this become pure financial liability. But if I say convertible debenture, in this there are two components. Interest, company has an obligation to pay, but debenture, principal amount, there is no obligation to pay because debentures, the principal amount will be converted into equity shares. Therefore, it is having two component, liability component as well as equity component. So this type of instrument will be known as compound financial instrument. Are you getting? Means if I say in this way, if the issuer has an unconditional right to refuse the payment of principal amount and and amount, principal amount, and payment of interest or dividend amount, then it become pure equity. It become pure equity instrument. Are you getting? Means if company has an unconditional right to refuse payment of principal and what? Payment of dividend or interest, then it become what? It become what? Pure equity instrument. Become pure equity instrument. Understood? Okay. Then one last point, point number 3. If the settlement of any financial instrument is contingent, if the settlement of any financial instrument is contingent on the outcome of circumstances, on the outcome of circumstances which is beyond the control of either party, which is beyond the control of either party. So if it is contingent, contingent means right now we don't know whether we need to pay or we are not supposed to pay. Are you getting? Right now we don't know. It is contingent on the outcome of circumstances which is beyond the control of either party, then it will be classified as financial liability. It will not be equity instrument. For example, if I say in this way, if I say in this way, कि convertible debenture, but at the option of holder, at the option of holder, correct? Means holder will decide whether to redeem or to convert. So, but whether right now we know whether to pay or not to pay, means that will be known only on the date of, on the maturity date. Are you getting what I'm saying? So right now we don't know that debenture holders will demand cash or debenture holders will demand equity shares. It is contingent on the outcome of the circumstances which is beyond the control of either party. Therefore, this will be considered as financial liability. Principal amount will be considered as financial liability. Are you getting what I'm saying? Correct? Yes, we have understood. Means now identify financial liability and equity instrument from the following. Means you need to identify whether it is a financial liability or equity instrument or compound financial instrument. So can you do first? First you do, then I will do. How many examples are there? 13. Done? Bolo. Redeemable preference shares with fixed dividend per annum. Financial liability. Redeemable preference shares with 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 cumulative or non-cumulative dividend. with cumulative. First with cumulative dividend. बताओ what? So it is compound finance instrument. Non-cumulative will be also what? Compound. So cumulative or non-cumulative means company can deny. Cumulative also company can deny. Non-cumulative the company can deny only. Correct? So both in both situations it will be a compound financial instrument. Correct? Compulsory convertible preference share with discretionary dividend. With discretionary means company can deny what? Dividend. But this is what? Compulsory convertible. So it become pure equity instrument. Pure equity instrument. Compulsory convertible means company will deny principal amount. With the discretionary dividend means company has a right when to pay, when not to pay dividend. Correct? It become equity instrument. Compulsory convertible preference share with fixed dividend. It become compound financial instrument. I think now you are understanding. Correct? Then irredeemable preference share with cumulative or non-cumulative dividend. It is pure equity na. Irredeemable. Irredeemable means there is no obligation to pay principal amount and company can deny what? Dividend. It is pure equity instrument. Correct? Irredeemable preference share with fixed dividend. Compound. This now become compound financial instrument. Correct? Redeemable debenture with fixed interest. It become financial liability. Irredeemable debenture with fixed interest. Compound financial instrument. Compound financial instrument. Redeemable debenture with discretionary interest. Compound financial instrument. Irredeemable debenture with no guarantee of interest. Irredeemable debenture with no guarantee of interest. Equity instrument. Pure equity instrument. Optionally convertible redeemable debenture. Optionally convertible redeemable debenture, of course, with fixed interest. Bata what? Huh? Compound. This is a अच्छा zero एक छूट गया. Zero coupon bond or deep discount bond. Did you know zero coupon bond? It is a financial liability. There is an obligation to pay. Financial liability. Correct? Optionally convertible debenture, redeemable debenture. Optionally convertible redeemable debenture with fixed interest. With fixed interest. This will be a compound financial instrument because there is an option. I need to explain this somewhere. Okay? So I will take one example. I will explain why it is a compound financial instrument. Okay? Participating redeemable preference shares with fixed dividend. Huh? Participating redeemable preference share with fixed dividend. It is a compound financial instrument. So here the word is participating. Participating. Correct? So whenever there is some, I will say in simple way, whenever some right is given to the holder. So here you can see option. Option has been given to the holder, right has been given to the holder. Whether you can convert or you can what? Redeem or you can convert it. So right has been given. And participating means a right has been given that you can participate in surplus fund. So whenever right is given, some amount is received for that. Can I say if I'll give you a right, that suppose if I am giving you a right, you can come to my any batch at any time. So whether I will give free of cost? Huh? No. See, think, yes, I will give, I can give, but think commercially. Think commercially. If I want to give you a right that you can come to any batch at any time, you can ask me any doubt also in that batch. So, but our right has been given, whether it will be free of cost. I will charge some consideration for that. So whenever any right is given, some consideration is received and there is no obligation to pay. So it become a part of equity. It become a part of equity. So in simple word I will say, whenever right has been given, by whom to whom? By entity to holder. So automatically there will be some equity component on that. Therefore, it become a compound financial instrument. Compound financial instrument. Correct? Yes, sir. Now, whenever there is a compound financial instrument, so it means, can I say, for presentation purpose, we need to find out what amount is equity instrument and what amount is financial liability. There is no doubt about pure financial liability. There is no doubt about pure equity instrument. But whenever compound financial instrument, so some portion will go to equity and some portion will go to financial liability. It means we need to segregate it. So how to split compound financial instrument into two parts, equity component and liability component? For that, Ind AS 32 says how to split. But first, from the consideration means proceed received. Whenever we issue some instrument, some proceed will be received. That is known as fair value of compound financial instrument. Means proceed received is the fair value of compound financial instrument. From that we deduct fair value of liability component. So what will be the fair value of liability component? Fair value of liability component will be equal to present value of contractual cash outflow. Liability means there is some contractual cash outflow. Fair value of contractual cash outflow discounted at market rate of interest. Discounted at market rate of interest of similar instrument without equity component. Without equity component. Just try to understand my point. Suppose there is one 10% debenture. 10% debenture. 10 lakh. Means, can I say, if I have issued a debenture and there is no right given, so what is the market rate of interest? 10%. This is pure liability. Means market rate of interest is 10%. Therefore, I have taken loan at 10%. Means I have received loan at 10%. Correct now? Understood? Now, if I will say in this way, I want to give some right, now this become convertible debenture. Same amount. Same amount. But interest rate will increase or decrease? Will decrease the interest rate. So if I give some advantage to you, so I will get some I will charge something for that. So it means I will reduce the amount of interest. So it is 5%. So if I have issued 5% interest, 5% interest convertible debenture, this become compound financial instrument. So for this we need to find out what is the contractual cash outflow and will discount that at market rate of interest. So this is the market rate of interest of debenture without what? Equity component. Without equity component. Let us take one example. ठीक है? A Limited issued 10% compulsory convertible debenture of rupees 10 lakh at a discount of 10%. At a discount of 10%. Correct? Understood? On 1/4/2018, it will be converted into equity shares on 31st March 21. 31st March 21. Market rate of interest of similar debenture without conversion right is 15%. Calculate liability component and equity component. Look, simple question. Understood? It means first what we need to do, we need to find out calculation of fair value of liability component. Correct? For this, we need to first find out contractual cash outflow. Contractual cash outflow. So always there are two components, interest and principal. So whether there is an obligation to pay interest, bolo, as per this agreement, whether there is an obligation to pay interest, at what rate? 10%. Whether there is any obligation to pay principal amount? No. So there is no obligation to pay principal amount. Means contractual cash outflow is what? 31st March 19, 20, 21. Correct? Understood? How much? 1 lakh. 1 lakh. And 1 lakh. 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh. 10% of 10 lakh at nominal value. At nominal value. Correct? Batao. Now we'll find out present value factor at what rate? 15%. Why? Because the market rate of interest is 15%. Correct? So what is the present value? Can you give me the present value total? How much? 2 lakh? 2 lakh? 28? 323. So this become fair value of liability component. Correct? Simple. Understood? What is the total proceed received? How much proceed received? It was issued at discount. The proceed received is 9 lakh. 9 lakh. Correct? So what is the fair value of equity component? Means what is the equity now? How much? 9 lakh minus this. Means 9 lakh minus this. How much? 6 lakh 71 677. Look, done. 5 marks question in exam. So one part from examination point of view, they ask this question: splitting of what? Splitting of compound finance instrument. But there will be varieties of question in this. We have to understand what type of question can be asked. This is one simple question I have given. Means they can trouble you in the information only. So you need to understand the information properly. That is what that is also a point to be considered. But this is very easy. Means on 1/4/2018, what journal entry you will do? Batao. Bank account how much? 9 lakh. Means can I say now there is no concept of discount on issue of shares, etc. Discount on issue of debenture. So now there is no account, premium account, discount account. That concept gone. Correct? Whatever received, that is 9 lakh. To what? To what? 10% debenture. Financial liability how much? Financial liability 2,28,323. To 10% debenture. Equity instrument how much? 6,71,677. ठीक है. It means this will be shown either under current liability or non-current liability as the case may be. Either under current liability or non-current liability as the case may be. Now when it will become current liability? When the amount is payable within 12 months. If the amount is payable after 12 months from reporting date, it becomes non-current liability. And this will be shown under what? Under other equity. Because right now shares has not been issued. So we can't write under equity share capital. So we write on under other equity. Means if you know statement of changes in equity, is statement of changes in equity, there will be one column equity component of compound financial instrument. So in that column we write down this amount. Equity component of compound financial instrument. Correct? Understood? Correct? This point. If I want to inform you something more, so 10% debenture financial liability account will prepare. 10% debenture financial liability account will prepare. Correct? तो बताओ, we write down on 1/4/2018 by bank how much? By bank how much? 2,28,323. ठीक है. बताओ 31st March 2019 by interest how much? By interest how? बोलो. So by interest will be calculated at what rate? 15%. Interest will be calculated at 15%. This 15% is known as EIR, effective interest rate. This 15% is known as what? EIR. Correct? This 15% is known as EIR. Means we do not calculate interest at aggregate rate of interest. We calculate interest at EIR, 15%. So of course here market rate of interest will become EIR. Correct? Batao. How? 34,248. ठीक है. And on 31st March 2019, we'll do two bank. How much we have paid? 1 lakh. 1 lakh. And what is my closing balance to carry it down? How much? One lakh 62,571. Correct? Understood? Batao. How much interest amount has been paid? How much interest amount has been paid? Huh? How much interest amount has been paid? Bolo. How much interest amount has been paid? So this is not interest. अभी समझो. Correct? So when I am saying interest amount paid and you are saying 1 lakh, so it means you are mistaking. So now 1 lakh is not interest. This is contractual cash outflow. Interest is what? 30,248. So how can you say 1 lakh paid? If you are saying 1 lakh interest paid, to write down interest expense 1 lakh. Are you getting? So 1 lakh is not interest amount. 1 lakh is contractual cash outflow as per agreement. As per agreement. Correct? So what is the interest expense? Interest expense is what? 34,248. Means how much interest expense will be charged to PL? 34,248. And so on for every year. Correct? Are you getting what I am saying? This is known as financial liability measured at amortized cost. Means I moved from Ind AS 32 to Ind AS 109. Ind AS 109. This will do under Ind AS 109. Means Ind AS 32 deals with this. Only bifurcation. Only bifurcation. But subsequent recognition is dealt by Ind AS 09. They say that this will be measured at amortized cost. This is known as amortized cost by applying what? EIR. By applying what? EIR. So financial liabilities is measured at amortized cost by applying EIR. Are you able to understand what I'm saying? I'm just trying to link. Correct? And then we'll go on, means next year, 1/4/2019, by balance brought down, 1,62,571. Correct? Batao. How much interest? 31st March 2020 by interest at what rate? 15%. How much? 24,386. 386. Once again, how much payment? To bank, how much? 1 lakh. Correct? So, but to carried down, how much? 60, 86,000, 960, 957. Correct? Then last year, 1/4/2020 by balance brought down, 86,957. Okay, last year we should calculate interest as what? Balancing figure. Always become approximation. So this will remain 1 lakh and interest will come how much? Batao. How much? 13,040. And it 043. अरे कुछ भी छोड़ना. And this will be approximately equal to 15% only. Approximately equal to 15%. Check करो. Difference coming. How much difference coming? Means what is the 15% of this? How much? Exactly same. But बहुत अच्छी बात है. You are good in calculation. Understood. This is accounting. Means we need to prepare one more account. 10% debenture. Equity instrument account. Means there are two accounts now. 10% debenture financial liability and 10% debenture equity instrument. So you can see your financial liability will become zero one day when you are paying the amount. Correct now. So what will do for equity instrument? Equity instrument, but how much consideration received? So on 1/4/2018 by bank how much? 6 lakh, 6,71,677. Correct. And can I say equity instrument is never subsequently recognized. Means whatever consideration received, that will be only equity amount. Means you will not do subsequent recognition of equity component. Equity instrument is never subsequently recognized. Whatever consideration received, that is a part of equity. That is a part of equity. Means can I say every year this balance will come, same balance will come, bole yes or no? Means 31st March 2018, 19, to carry it down. How much? 6,71,677. Once again, 1/4/2019 by balance brought down, 6,71,677. 31st March 2020 to carry it down, 6,71,677. Correct? Then 1/4/2020 by balance brought down, 6,71,677. Correct? Now on 31st March 2020 it was converted into equity shares. Now shares has been issued. Correct? Are you getting what I'm saying? Take care. Now suppose this will be suppose I am not given in the question. Suppose this will be converted into 1 lakh shares of rupees 10 each. 1 lakh shares of rupees 10 each. Suppose. as per contract. It will be converted into how many shares? 1 lakh shares of rupees 10 each. So what journal entry we need to do? As per international concept, means थोड़ा सा इंडिया में ड्यू टू कंपनीज एक्ट देयर इज सम चेंजेस because we cannot override the requirement of law. But internationally, what journal entry we pass, this is under other equity, correct? So what we do, now it become 2 equity. And we write down 6,71,000, 6,71,677. Internationally, this is the journal entry. Other equity will now become equity. Means internationally there is no concept of face value and number of shares. Whatever consideration received, that will be equity. Therefore, internationally, balance sheet may be write down equity and other equity. We don't write equity share capital internationally. Internationally, we write down equity and other equity. But in India, due to Companies Act, we write down equity share capital and what? Other equity. So our Companies Act says equity share capital should be written as face value, number of shares also. Therefore, because of that reason, we need to do some journal entry यहाँ पर. So what we'll do? We write down equity share capital how much? Equity share capital how much? 10 lakh. And the balancing figure will be adjusted under other equity. Balancing figure will be adjusted under other equity. What is the balancing figure? 3 lakh, 2 lakh, na? 3 lakh, 28, 9. So this how this is 2 lakh. Acha, ठीक, okay, correct. 3 lakh 28, 329. This is other equity. Means this is only because of what? Companies Act. However, you can see the equity remains same. Equity will not change. Total equity will remain same. Total equity will remain same. So this journal entry is not given under India's. This is due to what? Companies Act. This is due to Companies Act because we cannot override the requirement of law. We cannot override the requirement of law. This point you understood? Yes, sir. Correct. One point I have done. One point I have done. ठीक है? ठीक है? Understood? ठीक है. Now, suppose, example number 2. Suppose, in above example, suppose in above example, company has issued optionally convertible debenture at the option of holder. At the option of holder. Understood? At the option of holder. Now I have given you what? In the first question it was compulsory convertible debenture. Now it become optionally convertible debenture at the option of holder. At the option of holder. What can I say? It means the conversion or redemption is dependent on some contingencies, and that contingency will be dependent on the outcome of circumstances which is not beyond the control of entity. Therefore, this principal amount 10 lakh will be initially classified as what? Liability. Initially. Means at the end it might happen all the debenture holders want what? Equity shares. Are you getting what I am saying? But initially it will be classified as liability. Means now same question but now answer will be different. Calculation of fair value of liability component. Correct? So year end 31st March 2019, 20, 21. So we need to find out contractual cash outflow. Contractual cash outflow. बताओ 1 lakh, 1 lakh, 1 lakh. But now 1 lakh plus what? Plus what? Plus 10 lakh. Means can I say it will be assumed that they will demand redemption only. So initially it will be classified as financial liability. Subsequently it might become equity. Subsequently it might become equity. Correct? Are you getting what I am saying? Have you understood this point? Have you understood this point? Optionally converted में. Correct. Now you can find out present value factor at 15% and present value. How much coming? So what is the fair value of liability component? 8 lakh, 85,200, 813. ठीक है, बताओ what is the proceed received? 9 lakh. So what is the equity component? How much? 14,000. 187 ना. ठीक है, understood. Have you understood compulsory convertible and optionally convertible? So normally this type of question is asked. Normally. Correct? Normally. Understood. चलेगा? चलो. So 1 point done. How to split you understood. Then early settlement. Early settlement. I'm expecting one question on this. Early settlement. Early settlement means what? Suppose we have issued the first example compulsory convertible debenture. ठीक है? Understood? But what happened? Before maturity date, we have done settlement of that debenture. Then what need to be done? Then what need to be done? It was what? Compulsory convertible debenture or optionally convertible debenture, whatever. But before what? Before what? Maturity date, we have done the settlement of that debenture of financial instrument. Then what need to be done? Let us understand with one question only. I have one question. Let us do that question. Come to question number 74. Question number 74. This is expected. थोड़ा concentration is required. ठीक है? Now, on 1st January 1999, A Limited issued 10% conversion with face value of 1000. Whenever question is silent now, So from exam point of view, we'll assume it is optionally convertible at the option of holder. From exam point of view, correct? It will be optionally convertible debenture at the option of holder. Whenever question is silent, whenever question is, means they have not given compulsory convertible, they have not given optionally convertible. We'll assume it is optionally convertible by writing a note. So on 1st Jan 1999, A Limited issued 10% convertible debenture with a face value of rupees 1000 maturing on 31st December 2008. Means how many years? 10 years. On 1st Jan 1999, 31st December 2008, 10 years. They have issued what? 1000 face value. Given only convertible debenture, we'll assume it is optionally convertible debenture. What we'll assume it is optionally convertible debenture. Okay? Question is silent. The debentures is convertible into equity shares of A Limited at a conversion price of what? 25 per share. At a conversion price of 25 per share. Correct. But this is not relevant for initial recognition. That is to on conversion date. So this is not required for initial recognition. Correct. This information is not required for initial recognition. Interest is payable half yearly in cash. So interest they are saying is payable half yearly. Means can I say there are 20 half year, 10 full year means 20 half year. Correct. Means if the rate of interest is 10% per annum, so I can say 5% per half year. 5% per half year. 5% per half year. Correct. Understood? Yes, sir. Take it. Then, at the date of issue, A Limited could have issued non-convertible debt with a 10-year term bearing coupon interest rate of 11% per annum. Means what is the market rate of interest? It is 11% per annum. So can I say 5.5% per half year? 5.5% per half year. Understood? Correct? Yes, sir. Then what happened? This is the information they have given for initial recognition. Then they have given on 1st Jan 2004. So on 1st Jan 2004, after how many years? 5 years. Means after how many half year? 10 half year. Correct? 10 half year. Correct? Yes, sir. The convertible debenture has a fair value of 1700. Means what is the fair value of convertible debenture? 1700. 1700. Correct? This is a fair value, not face value. Huh? Fair value. A Limited makes a tender offer to the holder of debenture to repurchase the debenture for rupees 1700, which the holder accepts. Means now they want to buy back the debenture at rupees 1700. At rupees 1700. Correct? Means, but I can say they will buy back two components. One is liability component, one is equity component. Correct? At rupees what? 1700. At rupees 1700. Means there are two components now. So they will buy back liability component and they will buy back equity component. Are you getting? At rupees 1700. Means consideration paid to repurchase both component is 1700. Correct? Understood? Yes, sir. At the date of repurchase, A Limited could have issued non-convertible debt with 5-year term, a coupon interest rate of 8%. But now the market rate of interest has become how much? 8%. Means half yearly how much? 4%. Correct? One thing is clear that, just try to understand, whenever rate of interest will decrease, the present value will increase. Therefore, fair value will also increase. Therefore, fair value will also increase. Therefore, now it become what? 1700. Correct? Understood what I am saying? So whenever rate of interest will decrease, the present value will increase. The present value will increase. Means can I say now this 1700 should be first to what? First what allocated to this liability component and equity component. Correct? And we need to find out carrying amount of these two components, and then this difference will be what? Gain or loss. This difference will be what? Gain or loss. Are we able to understand what I am saying? Correct. So what they have asked? What they have asked? So how the entity account for equity and liability at inception and at the repurchase of convertible instrument? They have asked 2 points यहाँ पर. Good question. Very good question. This is probable question in exam. Probable question in exam. So on initial recognition, very easy. So initial recognition, I don't. First initial recognition. On which date? On 1/1/2000, 1/1/1999. ठीक है. बताओ. What is the fair value of compound finance instrument? Means proceed received. बताओ. How much? 1000. From this we deduct fair value of what? Liability component. Fair value of liability component. ठीक है. Now liability component means there are two parts. One is the contractual interest. But the contractual interest. Contractual interest. So contractual interest we are paying half yearly. Half yearly means 5%. 5% of 1000 how much? 50. So 50 is payable for how many year? 20 year. So we need to find out present value of 50 for how many year? 20 year. Correct? So contractual interest का present value will be 50 into what? 50 into what? Can you give me present value factor means annuity factor? 11 point. At what rate? 5% or 5.5%? 5.5%. So we need to find out fair value discounted at what rate? Discounted at 5.5%. Are we able to understand? So how much is coming? 11.950. Correct. But how much? It is coming how much? 597. ठीक है 597 ठीक है. Understood. And because it is optionally convertible, so we'll take principal amount also. Optionally, तो बताओ how much principal component? 1000, and we'll pay it at the end of 10th year, means at the end of 28th half year. So can you give me what is the annuity factor for that? 0.327. How much? 343. Are you able to understand what I'm doing? Correct. What is the total liability component? How much? 940. So what is the fair value of equity component? What is the fair value of equity component? 60 rupees. Understood? So one part done. This is the initial recognition, journal entry we can do. Understood? 8 marks question, you will get how many marks? 3 marks. Maximum will be for balance part. Correct? Why I say in this way now? 1 marks count. If you have done this much correct, you get 3 marks. 3 marks counted. Correct now. And now if you are not doing balance part, suppose you have done wrong, 3 marks to you got na, chalega. Every marks is counting. Correct? Now, this to already I have explained in my 2 example. Correct. Now balance part. So now we are doing what? Point number 2. That is what? Means on repurchase of what? On repurchase of convertible debenture. ठीक है? In this, first we need to calculate calculation of fair value of equity component, first liability component and equity component on which date? On 1/1/2004. ठीक है, बताओ what is the fair value of convertible debentures? 1700 that they have given. Okay, now the fair value is 700. Now from this we will deduct what? Fair value of liability component, and which will be calculated by discounting at what? What rate? At the rate of 4%. But for remaining contractual cash flow, na. So now remaining contractual cash flow means 5 year means 10 half year. Remaining 5 year na, so 10 half year. Correct? So batao, first can you give me for contractual interest? Contractual interest 50 multiplied by what? At 4%. Can you give me annuity factor? 8.11. 8.11. How much? How much it is coming? 405. And principal component, principal how much? 1000 into how much? 0.675. How much? 6. 75. This is correct. 6/7. So 675. Total is what? 1080. तो बताओ what is the fair value of equity component? How much? 620. Means can I say consideration received for liability component is what? Sorry, consideration paid for liability component is 108, and consideration paid for equity component is what? 680. Means when you have repurchased, so how much you have paid for liability component, how much you have paid for equity component, that we have bifurcated. Correct? But can I say this now need to compare with carrying amount of liability component and equity component? Carrying amount of liability component and equity component. So now we need to find out point number 2, calculation of carrying amount of liability component and equity component. Correct? Can I say liability component will be the present value of remaining contractual cash flow at original discount rate? At original discount rate? Correct now. Remaining contractual cash flow at original discount rate. So write down. Carrying amount of liability component will be what? So first, can you give me contractual remaining interest? It is 50 into discounted at how much percent? 5.5%. But for how many year? 10 year. 10 half year. 10 half year. 10 half year. So can you give me how much? 7.538. 538. How much? 377. And principal amount will be 1000 into what? 0.585. So that become what? 585. Total is what? You have done 5.5% now. How much? 962. And can I say carrying amount of equity component will remain unchanged? Carrying amount of equity component remain unchanged. So what was the initial 60? So that will remain unchanged. So this is the total carrying amount. This is the total carrying amount. Understood? Correct? Have you understood this point? Correct? Now we'll find out calculation of gain or loss on repurchase. Gain or loss on repurchase. Correct? So liability component, equity component. But what is the fair value of consideration paid? What is the fair value of consideration paid? How much? Already we have bifurcated how much? 1080 and 620 minus carrying amount is what? 962 and 60. तो बताओ how much more paid? 118 and 560. Correct? Understood? Understood? Now, what is the rule? Whenever we repurchase liability component, that gain or loss, this gain or loss will be always transferred to PL. But equity component gain or loss, actually this is not gain or loss, this will be transferred to other equity, means retained earning. Means retained earning. Means when we repurchase equity component, so any difference of amount paid and this will be adjusted with other equity, means retained earning. Correct? This is the concept. Means what Jana entry will pass. So for repurchase of what? Liability component, what Jana entry? Jana entry will be what? Convertible debenture, financial liability account debit, 962. To bank, how much? 1080. And the difference will be transferred to what? PL, how much? 118. But for equity component, convertible debenture, equity instrument, account debit, 60. To bank, how much you have paid? 620. This will be transferred to other equity. Other equity means retained earning. How much? 560. Understood? Eight marks or 10 marks question in exam. I think understood. Have you understood? So earlier settlement of compound finance instrument, I have explained with one question only. With question you have understood what need to be done. This is the early settlement. Early settlement you understood? Before maturity date. Okay? Now read whatever is given, you will understand. Read it. Or read it. This part read. Now read it, you will understand each and every point. Read. Same thing is written. Same thing written now. Understood now this para? Correct? Yes, sir. Now, point number 7. Understood this para? Everyone? Correct? Now, point number 7. Accounting treatment of interest, dividend, gain or loss, and transaction cost. Now we are doing accounting treatment of interest, dividend, gain or loss, or transaction cost. The rule is very simple. If there is a financial liability, so any interest, any dividend, any gain, any loss, any transaction cost, any interest, any dividend, any gain, any loss will be recognized in PL. If this is equity instrument, so any interest, any dividend, any gain, any loss will be transferred to other equity. Rule is this. Means now interest dividend, a financial liability might have dividend, a equity instrument might have some interest component. As per the nature of agreement, for example, if I say irredeemable debenture with discretionary interest, so if you have, this become pure equity instrument. So if now you are paying interest, that is just like dividend. Just like dividend. Understood? So what they said? Interest, dividend, gain or loss related to financial liability shall be recognized in income as income or expense in PL. Correct. Dividend classified as an expense means the dividend which has been classified as an expense, this become expense now. Now this dividend is not a dividend distribution, this become an expense. May be presented either with interest expense or as a separate item in PL. Either you can include in interest expense or you can add on separately dividend expense in SOPL. Correct. Distribution to the holder of equity instrument. Any distribution of whatever nature, whether in the nature of interest or dividend, shall be recognized directly to equity, that is retained earning. Understood? Correct. Whatever nature means, it can be in the nature of interest, it can be nature in the nature of dividend. Correct? Understood? Transaction cost. What is the meaning of transaction cost? Whenever we issue shares or debenture, there are some transaction costs. For example, underwriting commission, brokerage, etc., etc., etc. So any transaction cost related with borrowing will be deducted from the proceeds. Correct? So transaction cost of equity instrument of financial liabilities shall be deducted from respective amount. Means if you have issued debenture 10,000 and you have paid 1% underwriting commission, so याद करो in बचपन used to do underwriting commission account debit to cash or bank. Now that gone. Now this 1% commission will reduce from what? 10 lakh. And net amount will be our liability. Net amount will be our liability. Means now there is no account known as underwriting commission account. So there is no discount account, there is no premium account, there is no underwriting commission account. Are you able to understand? So transaction cost will be reduced from the respective amount, but transaction costs that are related to CFI means, then what will do? So what they say, it will be allocated to liability component and equity component in the ratio of their fair value. So transaction costs related to compound financial instrument will be allocated to liability component and equity component in the ratio of their fair value. Come to question number 75. 75. Page number 86. Page number 86. Correct. ABC company issued 10,000 compulsory cumulative convertible preference share as on 1st April 2001 at rupees 150 each. Compulsory cumulative convertible preference shares. बता, from the first line, it is equity की compound. It is equity की compound. हाँ? Equity instrument, compound instrument. Compound. How? Compulsory cumulative convertible preference. It is equity, pure equity. हाँ? Pure equity. Cumulative ना, company can deny. Company can deny dividend ना. अरे बोलना रे, भूल गए. From the first sentence, it is what? Equity. But sometimes first sentence will not make the entire question. We need to read entire question. Huh? Correct. Then they say the rate of dividend is 10% payable every year. Underline the word payable every year. It means what? It becomes fixed dividend. So now it becomes what? Compound financial instrument. Understood? Means understand the question is important. Most of the students do not pass because they in exam they are not able to understand the question only. Means they know the concept, they are very much strong in concept, but in exam hall due to so much exam phobia they will not be able to understand the information given the question, or they will misinterpret the information because of exam phobia. How many of you have exam phobia? मेरे को भी था. But what I used to follow, I used to na, when I understood that exam phobia will not do anything, so I used to go in exam hall, what? With understanding that I will write in exam and don't think about pass and fail. Write in exam. Because I know that second attempt is coming. Write in exam. Just try to understand. You have one attempt, write whatever you know. Write whatever you know. Exam phobia means dangerous. If you are failing due to exam phobia, then the wrong na rahe. So you should delete that as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Correct? Chalo. Now, the preference shares are convertible into 5,000 equity shares of the company at the end of 5th year from the date of allotment. When the CCCPS are issued, the prevailing market interest rate for similar date without conversion option is 15%. Transaction cost on the date of issuance is 2% of the value of proceeds. Correct? Only this one. Don't read key terms. Correct? Means you need to split. You need to split. Correct? Chalo. Now, so first we'll do calculation of what? Fair value of liability component and what? Equity component. Understood? Batao. How much proceed received? Proceed received how much? 10,000 into 150 how much? 150? 15 lakh. 15 lakh. From this will minus fair value of what? Liability component. So there is a fixed dividend. Fixed dividend for how many year? How many year? Make it date of conversion each in the key terms. It should be 31st March 2006 or 1/4/2006 is same only. How many years coming? 5 years. So 5 year how much dividend? 10% of 15 lakh how much? 1,50,000. So 1,50,000 into what? 1,50,000 into what? Can you give me the annuity factor at what rate? What is the market rate of interest? 15%. So तो 15% में कैन यू गिव मी discounting factor means annuity factor? Give me in 4 decimal. 3.35. 3522. Correct. How much it is coming? 5 lakh 2,830. So, and principal component will not come because this is compulsory convertible. So, what is the fair value of equity component? 9 lakh 97,170. Easy. But we have transaction cost also. Transaction cost will be allocated to what? Both component in the ratio of their fair value. Means we'll do allocation of what? Transaction cost. Correct. Liability component. Equity component. What is the fair value? Fair value is what? 5 lakh 2,830 and 9 lakh 97,170. Total become what? 15 lakh. From this we'll deduct transaction cost. But what is the transaction cost? 2% of 15 lakh. How much? 30,000. This 30,000 will be allocated in this ratio. This 30,000 will be allocated in this ratio. Can you allocate? How much coming? 10,057 and 19,943. So can I say the net amount will come? Net proceeds. So net amount will be fair value minus transaction cost. How much? It is 4,92,773 and this will be 9,77,227. Correct? This will be 14,70,000. Understood? Understood? Means what journal entry you are passing? Point number 3, accounting treatment. What journal entry? Bank account how much? No, 14 lakh 70,000 net amount. ठीक है. 2 CCCPS financial liability how much? 4 lakh 92,773. Understood now? 2 CCCPS equity instrument. How much? 9,77,227. Understood? Now, can you see this will be now subsequently recognized at amortized cost? Already I have said financial liability. By applying what? By applying what? By applying EIR. By applying EIR. Understood? Correct? I already said this is actually part of Ind AS 109. I will come to that. But you have understood in one example. So this will be subsequently recognized at amortized cost by applying EIR. So bata what will be EIR? What will be EIR? 15%? No, no. Jab Sanjay. 15% will be EIR for this amount. Means what is EIR? EIR means the discount rate at which present value of contractual cash outflow is equal to net proceeds. Net proceed. So can I say at 15% is not equal to net profit? Means now we need to calculate EIR. If not given in the question, but in this question it is given. Check karo. EIR is 15.86%. EIR is 15.86. Not given, so you need to use the concept of IRR to find out 15.86. In that you are champion. In exam 99% they will give EIR. 99%. 1% chance is that if they do not give EIR, you should know how to calculate EIR. Can you calculate EIR right now? If not given, you calculate karo by your own whether 15.86 is coming or not. Coming means we are doing correct now. So calculate EIR. So chalo, I will also do with you. Suppose EIR is not given. So point number 4, calculation of what? EIR. So first we'll find out present value of contractual cash outflow discounted at 15%. Already we know at 15% is how much? 5,02,830. 5,02,830. But we want how much? We want how much? 4,92,773. So we need to increase what? Rate of interest. So present value of contractual cash outflow discounted at 17%. 2% gap. Can you give me how much coming? The FM, FM, SFM, FM, SFM. Means 1,50,000 into annuity factor. How much? 4,79,902. Now correct? So what will be EIR? EIR will be equal to 15% plus 5,02,830 minus can I say minus this amount? 4,92,773. 4,92,773 divided by 5,02,830 minus 4,79,902 into what? 2%. This formula, if you don't know, refer your SFM book. I also don't know. So what answer is coming? Answer is coming 15 point. Check karo whether the same answer is coming or not. I am just informing you, suppose 15.86 not given, so you should not leave the question, you should do it now. How much coming? 15.86 coming now. This IRR is correct now. This way you have done now. There some other way also, you can use that way also. If you want to use the other way, use. Okay, your choice. Okay? Now, point number 5, they will ask statement of amortized cost balance. Amortized cost balance. So what we'll do, we'll prepare one statement to find out amortized cost balance. Okay? So we write on year end 31st March 2002, 3, 4, 5, 6. ठीक है. Opening obligation. So what is the opening obligation? 4,92,772. Then we'll add interest at what rate? 15.86%. Then minus contractual cash outflow. This become closing obligation. Closing obligation means amortized cost. This become amortized cost, means closing liability. Can I say you can fill the blank? This though you can do by your own. Understood this statement? This is nothing but ledger account. Whatever I have done in example number 1 now, plus interest minus contractual cash outflow is closing balance. You can do it by your own. So this entire solution is of 10 marks. Entire solution is of 10 marks. If you do this much correctly, you will get 10 marks. Otherwise, they will decide how much marks. Previous attempt? This came now previous attempt. I know 12 marks. Therefore, this time I am saying 10 marks. They already asked in previous attempt. But similar question can be asked. Similar question means my intention was to inform me allocation. ठीक है ना? Already asked in previous attempt. I know. 12 marks. बताओ. I am saying 10 marks. They are giving 12 marks. हाँ? जनरल एंट्री कर ले. कौन सा बड़ा बात है? जनरल एंट्री you can't do. हाँ? Time consuming. You got 9 marks. Out of 12 marks. 9 marks you got. Super marks, 80% marks. Chalo. But you should got 12 out of 12, right? Chal, ठीक है. Okay. Okay. Understood? Chalo. Done. So this also you have understood. This also you have understood. Correct? Now, treasury shares, there is one small concept of treasury share from which question will not be asked. Treasury shares means what? Buyback of equity shares. But in India, this concept is not applicable. Why? Because in India, as per Companies Act, whatever equity shares we buy back, that need to be cancelled. That need to be cancelled. If not cancelled, so that type of shares are known as what? Treasury shares. But in India, you know, as per Companies Act, if you buy back equity shares, that need to be destroyed. So in India, there is no concept of treasury shares. But internationally, what we do, we buy back equity shares and that is kept for reissue in future under employee stock option scheme, etc. So we'll buy back equity shares and that will be kept for some future purpose. So that is known as treasury shares. So whenever we buy back equity share, so what will be journal entry? Journal entry will be bank account debit to equity. Simple journal entry is what? Bank account, equity account debit to what? Bank. This is the journal entry for treasury share. Means whatever equity shares we bought back will be reduced from what? Equity. Will be reduced from equity. Okay. Offsetting. Can we offset financial asset with financial liability? Yes. But when two conditions are satisfied. Same whatever we have done for current tax asset and current tax liability. Key entity has current legal enforceable right to set up, and entity has intention to settle on net basis. Correct? So there must be current legal enforceable right to set up, and entity has intention to settle on net basis. If these two conditions satisfied, so it become they can offset. So with this means yahan tak it was Ind AS 32. Now after this it is Ind AS 109. 109. Understood? Correct? We'll take break. After break we'll start Ind AS 109.